Is it the end for Commander Zane and Buddy? Tune in next week to find out.
Outer Worlds 2 is releasing to almost no hype as a Game Pass Day 1 release in the same year that the same studio already released a Bethesda-ish RPG Day 1 on Game Pass. How is Outer Worlds 2? How does it compare to the first game? And did they nail down the formula this time around? Let's take a look. The first Outer Worlds never really gelled with me all that well. Yeah, it was made by the Fallout New Vegas people and indeed felt quite a lot like Fallout in a way. And yeah, you could feel Bethesda's DNA in it, but it ended up feeling more like something similar to something I liked, rather than the actual thing that I like. I'm happy to say that this is not the case with Outer Worlds 2 so far, not for me at least, as it's landed a whole lot better with me this time round.
From one side of the galaxy to the next, the Earth Directorate is on your side.
Outer Worlds has you create a character just like you would expect to do, and once you've picked some character options, the story kicks off. In a nutshell, you're a commander of a ship on a mission, things go to hell, a baddie blows up something very important, and you're stranded in the Arcadian system, cut off from Earth. So not thousands of dead and empty planets to explore like in Starfield. I don't know about you, but that sounds good to me.
Oh no, don't start.
Speaking of sound, the game sounds and looks pretty good on the whole, and as with Avowed, it has options for performance, quality, and one of my favorite new features from this generation of gaming, a 40 FPS balance mode for those with 120Hz monitors or TVs. While my memory of the first game is a little rusty, the Outer Worlds 2 does seem to do a lot of the same things. It just seems to do them better. The game mechanics can be a bit of a mixed bag. When it comes to gunplay, it's no Call of Duty, but it is decent enough, and it has the usual elements of looting, crafting, and upgrades that you'd expect from this kind of game. I always love the fun and interesting hacking minigames that developers come up with for games like this, so I was a little bummed to realize that it's just a straightforward skill and prompt in Outer Worlds 2. Stealth is also pretty underdeveloped and laughably janky at times, to the point where I managed to sneak past some guards by just going right past them, quick enough that their attention meter didn't fill enough for them to pay any attention, after which they just completely forgot that I existed. I really must note that Outer Worlds 2 is not afraid of leaning into what it actually is, an actual RPG, which means you'll be doing a lot of reading and talking, and it isn't all for nothing, as many of the quests you do end up relying on what you found and what you know.
Reckon we should visit her lab at the edge of town to see if she's got ideas for us.
Although, in many cases, you'll need the relevant skills to make good use of it. In some cases, my decisions had some pretty notable repercussions, whereas there were a few scenarios where I couldn't really change what happened next. As before, Outer Worlds 2 opts for smaller open areas rather than a massive open world like you get in Skyrim or Fallout. And in many ways, Outer Worlds 2 feels like it's doing a lot of what Starfield should have done. And at the end of the day, you're also just quick traveling to different planets or locations like in Starfield. But Outer Worlds isn't trying to convince you that it's any grander than just that.
Attention passenger, you are running 21,027.5 hours late for your tram.
Despite having a pretty strong message, Outer Worlds 2 doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's better for it. It's the kind of game that makes you laugh at its overly exaggerated vision of corporate greed and power, religious zealotry and political power. It managed to have fun while also making me feel uneasy with just how much of the satire doesn't feel all that different to the real world these days.
They are following market demands and liberating Arcadia through the power of capitalism.
I also realized that it's self-aware too and has a few callbacks to other games in the genre, like the trick in Skyrim where you put the bucket on the head of a guard and he can't see where you're going. Except in Outer Worlds 2, I found a bucket with 2 holes in it that you can wear on your head like a helmet, and as long as you're not moving, you basically cease to exist to anyone.
Or an addiction.
Aborting search!
Outer Worlds 2 has done a great job of pulling me into its world missions and stories. I'm enjoying my romp through the Arcadian system, and while I don't think it's going to win any Game of the Year awards, it's a solid addition to the Bethesda-like RPG shelf. I'm just not entirely sure that anyone actually needed one right now.
What?
Comestibles served.
I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit the like button to let me know. Check out these other videos and subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks for watching, I'll see you soon.
On your side.